Welcome, everybody. It is Jay. I actually have a actual watch on my wrist. Saturday night, and this is the NGSC Sports NBA, WNBA, Unrivaled, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, boys high school basketball, girls high school basketball, midget ball, pee wee ball, and Paul ball. It's all about ball. Please remember the website. Look, I had it ready, and then I let the phone go off. I said, today, I'm going to put the website on the phone so I could be ready. And guess what? I wasn't ready. Remember the website? It is ngscsports.com, where you catch all of your current content. That's not going to work for me, so let me put the phone back. You log on to the website right now. Y'all know I'm not ready for none of this, right? So just log on to the damn website. No, seriously. Jordan Rhea, one of the we'll talk about. Jay, was a good one. He gives us his usual weekly NBA swing. He calls it, "Is there hope in Dallas despite the disaster?" Well, we're going to talk about that. That's for sure. We're going to talk about that. What else we got here? Oh, we're going to talk about this too. Sammy Sportface gives us what Joker did last night can't be understood. I'm going to start with that because it's going to be real quick. Of course, the John Doucette and NGSC Sports, we've been with America East for years. We want to thank the America East Conference for allowing us to cover men's basketball, baseball, hockey, but everything there. And John Doucette, of course, is my partners in the thick of things again at America East as the America East men's basketball tournament gets ready to get underway. Congratulations to Bryant's Earl Timberlake being named the America East 24-25 Player of the Year. All that and more, of course, on NGSCsports.com, where we never stop. I messed it up. See, I'm supposed to put the intro because that is the intro. But I'll make this my intro. So I wake up, right? I got to share the show, by the way. I wake up, right? I go to the bathroom. I ain't going to get into detail what I did in the bathroom, okay, y'all? Chill. But I went to the bathroom. And I took my phone with me. And I looked at the phone. And I saw something on the phone, right? Because, it's a sports fan. So I went to ESPN. It was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, Central Time. I put the phone on the counter, finished, washed my hands, went back to bed. And in an instant, I just said, I got to go back to my phone real quick and just to make sure. Nikola Jokic got 31 points, 21 rebounds, and 22 assists. The first thing I said was, hold on. Because about social media, and even though I'm looking at it on ESPN, I'm sleepy. So I'm saying to myself, Jay, I don't want to get, because I know it ain't never been done. So I just want to see. Jay, that shit was real.
You know what? It's the Joker. The guy is literally just one of the most amazing players you've ever seen. And the guy looks like he treats his job like a 9 to 5. That's really what it is.
Cuz, think about it. Any stat you check, anytime you look in, it don't matter who it is. I had 31 points and 21 rebounds tonight. You're like, damn, that boy had a damn good night. Oh, I forgot to tell you, he had 22 assists too. So I don't know, Braden. You like talking some hoop? What the hell was you thinking when you found? Did you find out last night or today?
So I woke up at like 3. I checked my phone the same as you. This man drops 30, 20, and 20. I'm like, you can't do this on 2K. You can't do this on 2K. Like, I'm gonna say this. He's the greatest offensive player I have ever seen in my life. Like, if we're just talking about assisting and scoring at the same time, combining all of that, I've never seen someone like a Nikola Jokic. I've never seen it in my life.
And I like that. I like that, Bray, because this is 3 different generations right here. Me, Jordan, and Jordan, he's a generation under you. And that's a good point right there, Bray, because me and Jordan, and I know there are other players that you've seen, but I know what you're saying. Because you're not going to overlook LeBron and the other guys, Kevin Durant. You can't do that. But when you go to the whole body of work, Braden, I feel what you're saying. It's like, I said, Jay, how many times you heard me say it? Braden, they never heard me say it, so I'm going to say it. Braden, I say this on all my sports shows. So in 2 weeks from today, I'll be 62 years old. I have been blessed to see some of the greatest ever in every sport. Dude, y'all, I go back to Pele in soccer in the 70s when soccer still wasn't shit in America. Okay? But this dude, and this is a guy, by the way, this is a guy who already won. How many MVPs he got already, Jay? 3?
3, yeah.
He got 3 already. And he damn sure working on 4. So shout out to the Joker, man, because that was stupid. That was stupid crazy. 31. Look, my wife was in the kitchen. I went to the kitchen with the phone. I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I said, everything's all right. She stopped. She was cooking breakfast. She'll never cook breakfast at that time. She said, what? I said, listen, dude, the Joker? Who? I said, Joker. She said, the movie? I said, no. Nikola Jokic, the NBA player, they call him the Joker, Denver Nuggets. Oh, yeah, that guy. What? He got 31 points, 21 rebounds last night. She said, damn, but ain't that normal for him? I said, yeah, but he also got 22 assists. So she stopped for a second. She's like adding it up. She's like, wait, say it again. I said, he got 31 points, 21 rebounds, 22 assists. She looked over and said, in the same game? Yeah. In the same game. Okay. Okay, Jack. I need a moment of silence. All right. Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, Julius Erving, Charles Barkley, Lou Alcindor / Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic, Bird, Jordan, Durant. I could name a few others, right? But these players, from the moment they stepped on a court, even if it was a concrete court as a kid, their stories have, as we know them now and history can tell it, their stories told that they would be great, or they were supposed to be great. And the guys I mentioned, well, they all turned out to be fucking great, right? Each one going to college with all the glory, coming to the NBA as the number 1 pick, a high school player. We all knew they were going to be great. Here's what we didn't know. You want to talk some GOATs? Not yet. I'll be damned. Y'all better start throwing some serious respect Steph Curry way. Y'all better start throwing some damn respect Steph Curry way. Because I'll tell you something. I'm a Knicks fan. And Braden, cousin Braden, you're going to find out that sometimes the old man will cry right here on the show. I love my sports. I'm deep about my shit. I don't play about my sports. I love them. And when I'm a Knicks fan. Braden, when Steph Curry was in the draft, I'm a Knicks fan sitting Pick number 8. I'm waiting for glory. It's coming from Davidson. Steph Curry in the garden. And then I hear this. With the 7th pick in the draft, the Golden State Warriors select from Davidson, Steph Curry. I felt like Michael Jordan had just beat my Knicks all over again. I heart broke. So I'm going to shut up with this. Yo, Jay, I'm going to come to you this time. Jay, that half-court shot, y'all know that. I don't know what the hell that was that he threw up, okay? But right at that moment right there, I said, look, I'm done. I ain't never seen what Braden said. Best overall player in his young lifetime that he's seen is Nikola Jokic. He was definitive about that. I need to shut up. Goddamn, Steph Curry's the greatest fucking shooter on the planet, boy.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's absolutely no shooter throughout NBA history that is like Steph Curry. He is the greatest three-point shooter. There's no disputing that. And just some of the shots that he takes, just at any point in the game, they look ridiculous. And the shot that you mentioned, I mean, basically spun around, threw it up like it was nothing, and it just went in like it was, cash money. So, at this point, he's at least 16 seasons in, I believe.
Well,
16 seasons, I think. Steph's
I think 15, 16 seasons, something like that.
The fact that he's been able to stay playing at this rate for this long, it just shows how great of a player he is. And is he slowing down a little bit? Yeah, but I can also see his game aging fine over the next few years.
Hey, Braden, I know you know ball enough when I ask you this question. You think Steph can shoot all right? Just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. I will say this. I'm personally a LeBron fan, but with all that being said, I can see that Steph is the greatest shooter that I think that we will ever see. Like, I just don't think there can ever be another Steph Curry. Who else can shoot from half court and you're scared that he's actually going to hit the shot? There's no other player I've ever seen that's going to shoot from half court. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this shot's
think about it. And think about what he just said, Jay. I heard this. I don't know which network or who said it, but it made my hair stand for a second when I heard this. Think about this, because y'all just did it. And they did it on the air before a dude said it. Everybody's speaking all the accolades, and you should. Oh my God, look at the shots. But for us, ain't that normal when it comes to Steph Curry? It's really normal, right? But it's not, because nobody else can do it. Nobody else has ever done it.
No, you just have a bunch of cheap imitations.
And Braden said what I was going to say. I know I'm going to be 62. I know I know for a fact I will never see another shooter like this in my lifetime. Braden, you got a little shot, maybe. And if you do, man, you're going to have stories to tell, because you're going to be able to talk about that shooter and then tell them, yo, I was alive. Y'all never heard of Steph Curry? Let me tell you about Steph Curry. But we're going to get more into Steph. But here's where I'm going with the GOAT. Jordan, you know this. My cousin Braden is getting to know me more and more. Told you, Braden, I'm from New York. I'm a Knicks fan, cuz. I was a Knicks fan 14 years before I was born. I don't play. I snuck in the garden. Cuz I don't play with my Knicks. I've been there with my Knicks for 58 years. And that's 58 years that I listened to them on the radio and going to TV. And I'm going to tell you, when in 1985, when the New York Knicks won the NBA draft lottery for Patrick Ewing as a number son, you don't know nothing about Patrick Ewing. Man, you better go watch some damn film, young man. Let me tell you about Patrick Ewing. God. And we just said, that's it. That's it. It's coming. And then the team started getting built. They're like, golly, boy. We not yet, but it's coming. Damn, it's coming, boy. And that team was so hard and so ready. And so was the rest of the league. But a guy in a jersey, number 23, decided that, well, everybody, y'all just going to have to wait till I'm finished, and then y'all can fight for the trophies. I have never seen, there's only one athlete I've ever seen that has done to me, my soul, what Michael Jordan has done to me, and that's Wayne Gretzky in hockey. Because what Wayne Gretzky did on ice, I'm not playing with y'all. It's like a human shouldn't be. A human can't do that. Michael Jordan. There's no player. You get 37 points a game for a season. Come on, y'all. 37 points a game for a season. Not only that, assists, block shots, defensive player of the year, MVP of the league, MVP of the freaking player, MVP of the top. Jay, how many times I told you? Michael Jordan, greatest player, right?
Every time.
Jay, I'm going to ask you one more time. Have I told you over and over again, Michael Jordan, greatest player in the NBA, right?
Yes, you have.
Jay, I got something to tell you. The greatest player in NBA history is LeBron James. I changed my mind. And I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm watching First Take. Brian Windhorst is on there. And he says this, guys. I'm going to turn it to y'all. Braden, you're going to take it from there. All right. And it got me and Stephen A. at the same time. Windhorst said, think about it. I'm paraphrasing. Think about it. When we talk about the NBA, the great players, we talk about the generation of great players. We're talking about the length of the game, the history of the game, the totality of the game. There's no question there has never been and probably will never be one player, no player greater at his height, at his best than Michael Jordan. It's just there wasn't. There'll never be. But if we're going to look at the league as a whole, in its history, this guy's 40 years old. And he's taking long passes, 70-yard passes from Luka Doncic and flying in the air and doing shit that, hey, Brady, you got lucky, by the way, because you heard the story. Jay, by the way, real quick, boy, I wore his daddy out on the court. Wore his uncle, my brother Zoe, wore their asses out. They bought the big boy, 6'6", 6'8" from Illinois. Jay, they couldn't stop me. And I'm not talking about they couldn't stop me for 2 Sundays. They couldn't stop me for 25 years. They couldn't stop me. So, Braden, you missed that shit. I could have got some of your ass too, but it's okay. I'm losing weight. I might be able to take you in the next year. But what I'm getting at is, Windhorst made the point. If you look at the length, no one has ever done, and I'm going to go where Braden went. Braden, I'll take it to you with the GOAT talk. I don't think we ever going to see one man, 22 years, y'all. This boy going to play a career for 25 years. Ain't nobody ever going to do this again, Braden. I give up. LeBron James is the greatest player in NBA history.
Yeah. So with the greatest player talk, I've been on a standpoint that I can't really say LeBron is better than Jordan because I never saw Michael Jordan play. So I wouldn't feel like it's fair for me to say LeBron's better. But I will say LeBron, for him to be at this age, he's 40 producing like he's still 26. I saw about 5 days ago, I saw a post. He has the same amount of points, rebounds, and assists per game that he had in his 4th MVP season in Miami. That's a 28-year-old Well, he was 20 at the time, but he's giving you the same production at 40. And when you just take a look at his career, he's first in points, top 5 in assists, top 6 in 3-pointers made, and he's not a 3-point shooter like
A
that.
3-point shooter. Yeah.
He's top 10 in steals, top 25 in rebounds. It's
one stat after the other.
One stat after the other.
Now, before I give it to Jay, I mean this, Braden, I mean this. You need to take a moment and you need to take a day. It's going to take you a year, 10 years. But you need to take a day, a Michael Jordan day. And you need to seriously sit down and watch, because I'm telling you that there's never been an assassin like this. This is the only player I've ever seen. And unlike you, I can't talk about the guys I didn't see before me. But he's the only player, and I've been watching NBA basketball for over 55 years. He's the only player that could tell the rest of his team, everybody sit your ass. Y'all don't even have to get off the damn bench. I'll do it by myself. And he did it by himself. Jay, I know where you've been all along, Jay. I mean, look, God Almighty, and we're going to talk a little while about the Luka deal, but LeBron, I can't fight it no more, Jay.
You know, it's really a tough discussion. You know, no matter how you look at it, you know, the game has changed so much since the league was first, you know, created back in the 40s.
Good point.
You know, it really depends on how you look at it. Because if you say, oh, well, if it's championships that determines the greatest, it's Bill Russell. You know, if it's legacy, you know, and the impact on the game, you could say it's Jordan. If it's work ethic, you could say Kobe. If it's longevity, you could say LeBron. But, you know, obviously you can't deny the way LeBron's played over the last 20 plus years.
No,
you know, he's one of the last people to come out of, you know, high school, first of all. So you definitely have that advantage there coming in at 18 years old compared to a lot of these players in the GOAT discussion who have come out, you know, maybe a couple years after college, maybe they're, you know, sophomores, juniors. So he does have a little bit of an edge there. But just, you know, like I said, the way the game has changed, the way taking care of your body has changed. I mean, everybody knows, you know, LeBron spends millions of dollars a year to take care of his body, you know. And like I said, the fact that he's playing this way at 40 years old, I mean, yeah, he is one of, if not the greatest players of all time. But, you know, there's still a lot of great players around him in this league too, like Steph Curry, like Nikola Jokic. You know, yeah, LeBron's had 4 championships over 20 plus years. Steph Curry has 4 rings in under a decade. You know, it just depends on what angle you look at it. But obviously,
yeah.
The greatest of all time.
People can make that argument, and that's a fair argument that people can say. Well, I look at it as championships, like you said, that would be Bill Russell. I mean, damn, I think Bill Russell won 4 high school championships, 3 out of 4 state championships at San Francisco. He played in the NBA Finals every year of his 13-year NBA career. He won 11 times. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. If you want to talk about shit that will never be done again. Did you get that, Braden?
Yeah, it won't.
Bill Russell, 4 straight, 3 out of 4, 13 NBA Finals in a 13-year career with 11 NBA championships. Yeah, that's some shit. You're right. That'll never be done again. But it's true. If you can look at it, and again, Steph's gonna keep moving on up that ladder. It is just, and we'll talk more about that. Our other hit topic this evening is the obvious. The NBA standings, the playoff picture, the playoff implications, who's in trouble, who's not, and who the hell we're not going to talk about. So we just won't bother with a couple, okay? First, I'm going to start with this, Jake. I was wrong. And look, I've been wrong a lot, and I'm gonna be wrong a whole lot more. But Brady, when we started the show this season, and as the NBA season started, Cleveland Cavaliers, they came out of the gate like a gazelle with 10 legs. I mean, them boys just shot out like, what the hell was that? I mean, damn. But remember, I told you, Jay, I said, just a matter of time. Cavaliers are not going to be able to sustain and keep winning. They're not built that way. Well, I look at the NBA standings, and the Cavaliers are 53-10, and Jay, damn, them boys is hooping.
I agree. Obviously right now they're on a 13-game win streak, which, I mean, given they had another, I believe it was like 16 or 17 games, to start off the season. But I'm not 100% sold on them. I'm at like 95%. Okay. We've seen this before, more with Donovan Mitchell led teams, especially those last few seasons in Utah where, they were top of the West, 50 plus wins, and then they go out early in the playoffs. Now, this season, they do look a lot better, especially compared to last season. Mitchell, he's not getting a lot of credit. Garland's not getting a lot of credit. Evan Mobley, I believe he's kind of snuck into the Defensive Player of the Year discussion with Wemby out. So I think they're not getting a lot of attention. So it's definitely a benefit to them, especially with some of these other teams like the Lakers, getting a lot of media attention. But this last, 2019 game stretch is going to be really important to see, are they legitimate heading into the playoffs?
Yeah. I did a little switching around here. But anyway, Brady, I again, as a Knicks fan, remember how close you heard the rumors about Donovan Mitchell going to the Knicks, to Madison Square Garden? Play ball. I said, I'm going to wake up one of these mornings. I'm going to look at my phone, boy. Donovan Mitchell going to be a Knick. And apparently he went to the fucking Cavs. We already know, Braden, that Donovan Mitchell can hoop. He's one of the premier players in the NBA, continues to prove that. But here's what I say, Braden. Here's my thing about greatness.
Okay.
This is where you know the greatness of the player. When he starts to make players around him better. He went to Cleveland. This is the team he's been with for a few years, right? And little by little by little, the Cavaliers keep getting better and better. I'm seeing guys around there playing, but damn, they wasn't playing ball like this 2 years ago.
Agreed.
Huh? Tell me, Brady. Talk about them Cavs.
Yeah. So what I like about the Cavs, they don't rely too much on their starters. They have like a 10 to 12 man rotation, and no one on that team plays more than 30 minutes a game. And I think
Okay.
I think that's really good for the Cavs when it comes to the playoffs. As we see teams in the past like the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau, he plays his starters like 40, 42 minutes a night, and they start to get hurt in the postseason. As we just saw 2 to 3 days ago, Jalen Brunson plays like 45 minutes and he falls and fixes that. He rolls his ankle. I hope he gets better, but it's just now back on the Cavs. And also a metric I like to use when seeing if a team is really good or not is their record. The record against teams above 500. They are currently 23-6 on the season versus teams above 500. That's a near 70% mark against the elite teams in the league.
I like that stat. See, that's a good stat right there, Jay, because what's the question, really the bottom line question you're going to ask about the Cleveland Cavaliers? they've already proven this regular season how good they've been as a regular season team. You brought that up, Jay, about the fact, and I'm with you, Jay, about okay, great regular season, but I'm not sold if this Cavalier team is built for the playoff run. But when Braden brings up a stat like that, because what's the thing about the playoffs? You're going to play the teams that are better than you. You're playing teams that are above 500. Everybody's above 500 there. So what is your record? 23-6, 700 ball? Hey, that's a good stat. That's a good stat right there, because now that's something to pay attention to, because I'm going to take y'all to the West. So, of course, everybody's talking about, and we will momentarily, Luka and what happened in Dallas and the trade, and people are going to talk about the Celtics and my damn Knicks that they getting on my lastest nerve right now. But I'm not going to get into that right now. But just like, maybe somebody got a stat here like that again. Just like, don't fall asleep on them Cavs. Hey, Jay, no, I'm coming right back to Brady. Great. Don't fall asleep on that damn Oklahoma City Thunder. They talk about Joker and the Lakers and John the Grizzlies and how dangerous they can be. You better watch them Houston Rockets. Okay. Hey, that Thunder team ain't no joke. And here's the last thing as I bring it to you, Brady.
Okay.
The thing they say about the Thunder, like the Cavs,
all right,
are they battle tested? Have they gone through it? The loss. I don't know if last year was enough, but they were projected to do better than they did last year. Are they hungry enough? Are they ready? I think the Thunder is a team to beat in the West.
Yes, I agree with you. So I think the problem with the Thunder, well, people have with the Thunder more so than Cleveland. People expected the Thunder to be the 1 seed again this season. They were the 1 seed last year as like a young, hot, up and coming team. They add a center, Isaiah Hartenstein, from the Knicks in the offseason, and they're like, okay, the Thunder are going to be great. So now the Thunder are they are great, but people are like, okay, we expected you to be great, so we're not really going to celebrate how great you are, which I think, and then the sports shows, even as a LeBron fan myself, all the sports shows are talking about the Lakers and not showing any love to like the Cavs. Even the Warriors are coming up. The Thunder, the Grizzlies, like so many other teams in this league, but they only talk about like the Lakers, Warriors, Knicks. Like those are the 3 teams, in my opinion, that they talk about on a daily basis.
And remember, Jay, we talking about a Thunder team that didn't have Chet Holmgren for a little while, right? We talking about a Thunder team that didn't have Isaiah Hartenstein for a while, and it took him a while to get into playing shape when he came back. This is a team that now they're together and they're gelling together. One of the most beautiful things about sports, and in this case is the NBA, is you can play the regular season. You're going to have the injuries and the little hiccups here and there, right? But what's the most important thing, Jay? It is now March going into April. If you ain't got your shit in gear by now, well, you don't have to worry about the playoffs because you're getting knocked out early. And the Thunder right now, my brother, I think they're getting their shit in gear.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And the one thing that I would say Oklahoma City has in terms of an advantage over a lot of these other teams is, like you mentioned, injuries early on in the season. You miss Chet Holmgren for he's roughly 3 months to start the season, after, a scary injury. And during that time, they were able to, test out some of these other lineups, test out how it would be with, Holmgren not on the bench. You said Hartenstein comes in, you kind of get him adjusted, you test those lineups without Holmgren and then with Holmgren. So they definitely will have a game plan going into the playoffs, just kind of, testing things out. And then when you have some of these other matchups, say like a potential Lakers matchup, if that happens in the Western Conference Finals, they have the trying to think of the right words here. The Lakers, for example, don't have that key defensive player anymore. You lose Anthony Davis, it's going to be feasting for the Thunder. Especially when you got guys like SGA, Holmgren, Jalen Williams. So I think where I'm getting at is that this team basically has everything they need.
Yeah.
And basically it's their playoff run to lose at this point.
Yeah. And it's still going to be the question, still, like the Cavs, but more so with the Thunder being young.
Yeah.
Are they ready for deep playoff basketball? Because as we get into around the NBA, where we'll do a quick run of many, many topics here, teams like the Thunder and the Cavaliers, obviously leading the East and the West and the East, expect the Celtics. Listen, Celtics are on cruise control, okay, y'all. And now when you got Pritchard and White playing like they playing, Brady, they scored 84 points between them. I thought they was talking about Tatum and Brown. I said, wait a minute. Oh, so Tatum was one or Brown one, but no, Pritchard and White. So for me, that's all I'm through. Now, by the way, real quick, unfortunately, as Jay, you mentioned, the unfortunate incident with Wemby and the Spurs. I hate that restriction of games, that 64, whatever the hell it is for the awards, stops him from getting his Defensive Player of the Year. But more than that, remember, Jay, when he came in his rookie season, we started talking about him then. We didn't know about how far would he take him. He already had the Spurs in playoff contention, my dude.
Yeah, just how this kind of came about so quickly is very unfortunate. You add De'Aaron Fox right before the deadline. It looks like they're about to make a push into the playoffs, and then he's out with these blood clots. And you've seen the impact these have had on other players before. Mainly Chris Bosh is the prime example.
Yeah,
his career. It ended his career. So, they've had, unfortunately, a pretty bad season. Greg Popovich kind of leaves early, dealing with, medical issues. He's not coming back this season. Fox, he's looked good, but he hasn't looked great so far in the Spurs system. And, you just kind of look at where they are right now. They're 13th in the West. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the play-in. So at this point, they're really kind of focusing on, I would say the 2025 NBA draft. Kind of looking from what I've seen, they have a 20%. They're currently slotted in the 9th position in the draft. A 20% chance to make it in the top 4, 4% chance to land the first overall pick. And if I'm the Spurs, Cooper Flagg sounds pretty damn good next to Victor Wembanyama.
Lord.
That wouldn't be fair.
With De'Aaron Fox?
It'd be a hell of a trio.
And as I take it to you, Braden, on Wemby, so when a guy as tall and as little as him makes his journey into the NBA, the first thing you can't help but say, hey, bro, you're going to have to eat a lot of grease or something because they're going to be banging on your ass. And it's the NBA. This ain't no damn French high school basketball league. This is real. And the rookie season went well. But here's the thing that impressed me, Braden. Turnaround, fade away, three-pointer, corner shot, running jumper, layup, finger roll, dribble between the legs, pull up on you on a dime. Damn. And it hurts. You know what I'm saying, Braden? It hurts because it hurts the Spurs. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. To me, the scary thing about his situation is he's tall and skinny. We've seen what happened to Chris Bosh, though. With Chris Bosh, at least he was already a 10, 12-year vet that had won championships and has like 10 All-Star appearances. Wemby, he's just in his second season. Hopefully it's not a long-term issue, but if it is a long-term issue, he will have to retire early.
And that's right.
And that's the last case scenario that any of us want. Like that's
another great point, Braden, because at least Chris Bosh got to have a career before it ended for him. Yeah. Damn.
Yep. And with the Spurs now, I say for their season, they're 13th in the West. As you said, Jay, they are 13th in the West. If they can somehow land Cooper Flag, the league has to watch out. You don't put Cooper Flag next to Victor Wembanyama with a De'Aaron Fox. You just don't.
That would be, yeah. Because I had to watch Cooper Flag a little bit this year because I didn't watch enough of him in high school. I only saw highlights. White boy can jump.
Yeah.
He can also hoop. I said, damn, that boy can hoop. I mean, you're right. But De'Aaron Fox, you know what? What's the name? Chris Paul be like, yo, I'm going to hang out with y'all. Can I hang out with y'all just one more year and then I'll retire? Because I'd have to. I'd have to. Anyway, seriously, yes, we here, of course, and everybody in the basketball world, fans and everybody alike, are definitely wishing Victor Wembanyama the best, that he gets over this, that he can come back and it doesn't affect him forever. When the trade happened, first of all, the shock, right? Oh, another one of those bathroom trips. I was like, what? Man, me and Jay had that show, man. Jay and I were still looking at each other, man. 3 days, 4 days later, like, yo, like, that really happened? It really, really happened. But my thing was, there was a lot of questions about how's the pairing, and we're going to talk first about, of course, Luka and LeBron. How was the pairing going to work? They couldn't get themselves a center. In time, the Williams deal didn't go through with the physical, and so they find themselves with Action Jackson. And that's basically where they are, right? But my thing all along was, I can't see how LeBron James, arguably the greatest player to ever play the game, and Luka Doncic, arguably one of the greatest basketball players alive right now, how was it that they weren't supposed to fit? My thing was, Jay, I'm coming to you, Jay. My thing was this: how's the facilitation going to work? Because we knew Luka has to have the ball in his hands. Wherever Luka Doncic is, he has got to have the ball in his hands to run the offense. How was LeBron James going to take that? How was he going to adjust to that? Hey, I feel like I'm watching the football, and Luka get a rebound and just, and he just got. What are they now?
Second in the West, I believe. Second in the
West. 8-2 their last 10 games, and unless I'm wrong, Jay, Luka just getting warmed up.
Oh yeah, you kind of, you first of all, you go back to the trade, it's always, some BS like Luka was fat or wasn't taking care of himself.
Yeah, right.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
He looks like he dropped 30 pounds in like 2 weeks. Okay, and honestly, there were a lot of questions about how would the pairing work, and it's worked out pretty well so far. Luka's kind of become that more of a number one option where he's doing a lot of the facilitating, distributing, and LeBron's just feasting on it. Like you said, pretty much quarterback passes the entire game. 40-year-old LeBron throwing it down like it's nothing. And there are questions about their defense, obviously, and we'll see more of that, once the playoffs come. But on the offensive end, they're making it look easy. And it's been quite a turnaround, I would say, probably from, maybe January, where the Lakers are starting to go down a little bit. And obviously with this trade, two of the best scorers in the game. So I'm definitely impressed with what I've seen so far. And the fact they've gotten up to second in the West, it's actually pretty impressive.
Hey, look, Brayden.
Yep.
We talked about LeBron, right?
Yeah.
But the question was, like I said, that people were wondering how these two would connect. But remember what I also said earlier about greatness. It makes other players around better, right? Hachimura, I believe he's not playing right now. Vanderbilt's not there right now. And yet, we've all of a sudden gone from talking about the Lakers as a play-in team to now the number 2 seed. Don't worry, y'all. They're not going to catch the Thunder.
Nah, no way.
But it's almost looking like Showtime. You don't know nothing about Showtime either. Looking like Showtime again. You're Brayden. Before you say something, I gotta give you some homework. You need some homework. You're gonna be a co-host on this show. You gotta do some homework. Make some good homework. Trust me. Jay, you might need to do a little bit of homework too. Hey, the Showtime Lakers. The Lakers and the Celtics of the 1980s. Y'all ain't never seen back a 10-year period. I'm talking about these was gangsters in a dark yard full of trash. And they come out every night like this, ready to brawl. Oh, anyway, stop. Oh man, that shit was good. Great. So yeah, Luka comes. It's starting to work, and people are now starting to ask, "Are the Lakers? Can the Lakers make the NBA Finals?" I don't know what you think, bro.
Okay, so the first thing I'll start off with is, so it was about a month ago. Luka got traded. It was like 11:30. I'm laying down. I check my phone. I'm like, okay, why is this a fake tweet from an actual
Somebody got hacked. Somebody got hacked.
He got hacked. I turned my phone off. I'm like, okay, I'm laying down because I'm not gonna believe that someone's gonna trade Luka Doncic at 25. Like, that's just never gonna happen, right, guys? Like, Luka at 25 is not getting traded. That's not happening. But he gets traded, and the rest is history. With the Lakers, it's this stat over the past 24 games, the Lakers are 20-4. That's the best record in the NBA over that span, and they have the number 1 ranked defensive rating over the last 24 games, which it's taken everyone by surprise because the Lakers don't have a center. But I will say the reason the Lakers are better on defense without Anthony Davis.
And that sounds crazy.
Yes, it sounds crazy. Yes, but I'm about to explain. So this new thing in the NBA, we are starting to see speed matters over size. Anthony Davis is a big center. He doesn't have the foot speed exactly to keep up with guards on the perimeter. With all due respect to Anthony Davis, he is an excellent anchor and defensive player. But what the Lakers are doing now, they have like 5 guards and forwards on the floor at all times. They can switch everything, guard everything. They have the speed to guard the 1 through 5. And LeBron is chipping in to play center half the time, which is extraordinary. Last night or 2 nights ago against the Knicks, he was guarding Karl Anthony Towns and held him to 11 points. Like this. Now, I will say I'm not sure how this is going to work in a playoff setting because, as we all know, the playoffs is different than the regular season. So even though they are the number one defense right now. I do want to see how it holds up against a OKC with Shea, J. Will, and all them boys. But yes,
Yeah, I know. Again, look at what you just said. Number one defensive rating. Who? A team with Luka Doncic on it? And by the way, Jay, have you been paying attention? I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag on my cousin, you know what I'm saying? But he's making some good ass points over there, right? Cause when he said, "The Lakers are a better defensive team without Anthony Davis," huh? Initially, that doesn't sound right. Anthony Davis, that's a big. But I like the point about speed, and somehow, some way, think about it. No center, right? Everybody's having to pitch in now, and you see that energy in that team. It's like, hey, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm enjoying the hell out of the show. And there's another show. People have talked a lot of shit about Jimmy Butler, and rightly so. Because everywhere Jimmy Butler go, it's like his damn pamper gets full of piss, and he get mad because nobody want to change it for him, and then he got to go, right? But every time he go, I mean, Jimmy Butler's a baller, okay? The boy's a baller. They don't take that away. His time in Miami ran out. He goes to Golden State. A Golden State Warrior team, Braden, that few months back the talk was, we're just trying to make Steph happy. We're trying to get what we can around him, keep him happy, to see if maybe we can try to make another run. At that point, we're in March now. Back in January, ain't nobody talking about the Warriors. They were fading away. Give Draymond Green, that's a motor, a legitimate motor still, and player in the NBA. But Jimmy Butler shows up, right? And just like in LA, the palm trees is blowing and everybody having a good kumbaya, están bailando merengue and salsa in Miami in Golden State rather, because it's working. And now it's different. Where is Golden State? Golden State, oh shit.
I believe they're the 6th seed in the West, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh shit, I missed that.
They are out of the play-in tournament. It's unbelievable.
Wow. I didn't realize that, Jay. They don't work their way up. I immediately looked to the 7-10 block for them.
They're past that.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at how things have changed so quickly, I mean, they were the 9th seed before the Butler trade and moved into 6th. They're 10-2 since the Butler trade,
and they were the 9th seed in Foley.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Jimmy Butler, I mean, he's putting up 17 points per game. He's fitting in with the Warriors so good so far, but he's really rejuvenated Steph Curry. In these last dozen games, since the Butler trade, let me just share these stats: 30.3 points per game, 6.6 assists per game, and 4.3 rebounds. That's the Jimmy Butler trade. And this guy is 36. Okay, you want to talk about LeBron and longevity? Right. Talk about Steph and longevity.
Yeah,
a smaller guy.
Exactly. And they're 3 games behind the Houston Rockets. They could move into 5th.
They will.
The fading Houston Rockets. And I like what's been happening in Houston, Braden. But yeah, I mean, another thing I meant to mention in that GOAT conversation. Think of all the players in the GOAT conversation. 6'6", 6'9", 6'10", 7 feet. Steph Curry ain't nowhere near them boys. Okay. But yeah, Braden, I mean, the thing that I loved the most, which I wanted to see, because you again, Luca, LeBron, how does that not work, right? Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, how does that not work? My thing was how would they go about it? And what I really love, what I've seen the most about it is, yes, it's rejuvenated Steph, but the fact that Steph doesn't have to be the main weapon anymore, and they got a guy who can make his own shot at any time he wants to. And one thing that I always love about Jimmy Butler, he get into that damn free throw line, Brady. He get into that damn strike.
Yes. What I will say about the trade at the time, I wasn't too sold on it because, as you said, everywhere he goes, it's always like a issue that flames up eventually. So this technically is the honeymoon phase, but I am surprised at how good the Warriors are.
Me too. Me too.
And I will say a reason the Warriors are so good is before Jimmy Butler was on the team, they got killed in the non-Curry minutes on the court. Without Curry on the court, they were like a -20. But
Okay.
now, without Curry, they have Jimmy Butler on the court, and they are like a positive team without Curry. If the Warriors are a positive team without Curry, it's just hard to stop them. Because if Curry's on the court, best believe he's going to hit like 5 threes in a row, and there's nothing you can do about that. But it's when he would sit without a Jimmy Butler, teams could take advantage. So now with a rejuvenated Steph Curry, I believe he believes that he can win a 5th NBA championship. That's why he's so rejuvenated. Beforehand, he's like, man,
Right.
I have all of these scrubs on my team. No one's going to help me win a chip. But now he has Jimmy Butler. He's like, okay, I'm about to just start hitting 10 3-pointers a game. I'm going to just hit from half court every game. I'm like, I haven't seen this Steph Curry since 2016. I
No.
personally haven't.
No. He even though nobody's going to take away from his greatness, you've seen a slight decline, kind of noticing that okay, Steph is getting older and a little old, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Butler shows up. Steph like, damn shit, I done found me a little drink of fountain of youth here, boy. He's starting to run around there, Jay. And by the way, because the next couple of topics are depressing. So before we get to the depression shit, when you look at this NBA season, Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Pistons, Thunder, Lakers, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Rockets, Warriors. It's like, even though we can talk about the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Thunder being the obvious leaders in the NBA, I don't think it's a guarantee for them 3 teams. I don't think it's a sure thing that you can say. Let me put it this way: it wouldn't surprise me if neither one of the top 3 teams don't make it to the NBA Finals. That's how good of a season it is right now. But I'll tell you who is not a good season for, and who hasn't been a good season for all year long. The Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks last year played a playoff series that just wore me the blank out. I watched Joel Embiid play on one leg and average like 95 points a game on one effing leg. One after the other. It was like, good Lord Almighty, this boy's just going to get better. And then the Sixers got Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid. Look, Jay, look, go ahead, Jay. Jay ready to roll with. Look, I know when Jay, go ahead, Jay. I know, go ahead.
it's embarrassing. I literally get secondhand embarrassment from the Sixers. Okay. I mean, where to start? You know, Embiid has the injury last season, decides to come back early, uh, clearly gets injured again, ends up playing in the Olympics instead of resting, gets injured probably another 3 or 4 times, and now he's out for the season. You know, he's probably going to miss. I mean, he may miss all of next year. Who knows? The way they're talking, you know. And Paul George. I mean, just what a downfall. You know, it's funny actually. So I was watching, or actually I saw this on Twitter. Um, Paul George was at a wrestling event last night, right? They showed him on camera. He's there with a couple other Sixers players. He's holding like this Philadelphia 76ers championship belt, right? He's cheering and everything. The crowd is booing him, okay? The Philly faithful do not like him at all, okay? I mean, this guy, it's just nothing but podcast, missed shots, injuries all the time. And realistically, he's probably not going to play much of the season either. And I mean, his contract, it's insane, you know, and the Sixers are stuck with that. No one is taking that contract. So
nobody's going to touch it. And in the middle of all of this, Braden, Tyrese Maxey, a young man, that boy, I love watching that boy. The energy that he brings, I mean, it's just nonstop, like a ping pong ball. I mean, a ball in a pinball machine, I meant to say. Pop, 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 pop. And the whole season started with so much promise. For me, Braden, I give it to you with this. For me, yes, Embiid is done. Shut Paul George down. Shut the damn season down. But now what? Now what? Because Embiid might not play next year. And at this point, for me, when it comes to Paul George, I'm like you said, Jay, man, forget Paul George, man. That boy, but you're stuck with him. Braden?
Yeah. The first thing I'll say is, number one, I feel bad for Philadelphia 76er fans, because you come into the season, you have Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid. At the time, these are 3 all-star to almost superstar level players, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then it's just everything falls apart. The injuries, and the huge issue I have with the Sixers is the money they're paying to Paul George and Embiid is going to be the reason why they're going to probably miss the playoffs for the next few years, because Joel Embiid, he has so many injuries for someone his size. He is 7 foot, about 300 pounds. He has so many injuries where at some point he just can't take it anymore on his body. He's already tall and big. He has so many knee injuries and leg injuries. When is it going to be at the point where, like, dude, you won't be able to walk in your 50s if you keep playing on your bum knee? Like, you won't be able to walk in your 50s. So it's like, if you're Joel Embiid, do you just put it up and stop playing ball?
I would think of the same thing, Braden. You think maybe
it's that point you don't want to sacrifice your future life and health over 3 more years in your prime,
in which you're probably not going to win that elusive NBA championship.
Yep. And so I actually have the numbers right here. The Sixers in 2029, this is like 4 years from now, Joel Embiid will be making $69 million in 2029 at the age of 34.
What?
It doesn't sound real, does it? Joel Embiid will be making $69 million in 2029. Paul George will be making $56 million in 2028. These are like the next 4 to 5 years. The Sixers are paying a combined about $130 million to 2 of the most injury-prone players in the NBA. That's all I have to say.
And that kind of money along with Maxi's money, stops you from being able to get anybody else, right? I mean, you didn't use the whole entire freaking payroll on these guys. It has just gotten into an embarrassment, like Jay said, with the Sixers. And like the Cavs, I said, I didn't know they were going to continue winning. The Sixers season started bad, right? But I was like, all right, just a matter of time. The three boys would get rolling.
Yep.
Hell, they never could. They didn't even play together. They couldn't even play together. It just. And speaking of bad, Jay, did you see that featured image I put on your article?
I did see that.
Perfect. Man, let me tell you something. What I heard. Okay, and this is from one of my boys in Dallas. Mavs fans are fucking pissed off. They are pissed off. They still cannot believe. This 2 days ago, he told me. He said, we still walking around here, turning the TV on or going to the arena waiting for Luka to come out of the tunnel. They can't believe that it happened. And by the way, speaking of injury-prone players, the other part of that trade was Anthony Davis, a guy who, I don't know about him, but his body parts appear to have a little fear of a basketball or a basketball court, because this brother cannot stay healthy. Kyrie. Sorry, Kyrie. So I'm going to say the same thing. Jay, Braden, back to you.
Okay.
Shut everybody down. Close shop. Put the cover over your head and let the rain hit you until the season's over. And then let's see what happens. But Jay, a Mavs team that was in the NBA Finals last year. And by the way, aren't they in a position where they might? No, the Phoenix Suns. Man, the Suns ain't gonna catch them. Damn,
The Suns are
Mavs.
terrible.
The Mavs might be forced into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I do want to say it's very unfortunate what happened to Kyrie Irving. It's just it's one of those freak accidents. You see, and I could definitely see concern. Going forward with just the type of player Kyrie is, and how that ACL injury is going to affect him. And I believe he does have a player option for the 25-26 season, so it will be interesting to see. Does he opt into that? Does he, decline it in hopes that, maybe something could be worked out? But yeah, I mean, he played 31 minutes for the Mavs since that trade. And that's just, it's horrible. And, you got guys like Klay Thompson, who was supposed to be that third guy. Hey, maybe he can be old Klay every once in a while. The guy has unfortunately been disappointing so far this season, and looks like it's not going to get any better. But, like I mentioned in my article, is there some hope for the Mavericks? There are rumors that, maybe they could land a Kevin Durant in an offseason trade. Kyrie, KD played together before. Will Anthony Davis be there? Will he be the piece going back to Phoenix? Who knows? But I think they're going to be locked into this last play-in spot, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah, Braden, it's a mess in Dallas.
Yeah, what I'll say is, again, what I said about the Sixers is the same as the Mavs. I feel bad for the fans of Dallas. They loved Luka Doncic. He was their savior. He was their guy for the next 10 to 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
A Mavs fan was going to turn on the TV and see Luka Doncic drop a 30-point triple-double every game. They were going to see that. And now what they're stuck with now is, unfortunately, what happened to Kyrie Irving. That torn ACL was just awful. But the issue I had with them trading for AD is their GM was fat shaming Luka Doncic. And with that being said, he trades for a player that gets hurt more than Luka. He speaks about availability. We want our stars to be on the court. AD's not on the court. AD,
No.
the problem with Anthony Davis, again, with these taller players, they are more susceptible to injuries. And as we see, he gets hurt time and time again. So you trade your 25-year-old international superstar for a 33-year-old player, which I hate to say injury prone, but we have to admit he is prone to injuries.
Injury prone. Injury guarantee.
Yeah.
That's what that is. He don't get hurt every year. And I added one more sad story to this woeful saga segment of ours. The sun has set in Phoenix. Once again, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, three of the most prolific scorers in the NBA. I was watching Beal like did he win a scoring title? He sure came close to winning the damn scoring title. I was like, yo, man, what's up with this dude, man? I didn't know that he could score like this. So, they hook him up in Phoenix, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and it's like, and I'm still wondering, so when it is, Braden, it is another, talk about embarrassment, another embarrassment. You're watching Kevin Durant, because don't ever question Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant brings it every single night. And you're watching him bring it every single night. You're watching Devin Booker bring it. I don't know about Bradley Beal, but the Suns can't win, Brady. They can't win. They suck. It sucked, Brady.
Yeah, they do. What I will say is the problem with the Suns is they traded last offseason, they traded for Bradley Beal. That gave them three players that do the exact same thing. These are three players that shoot the hell out of the basketball. The mid-range shot, all three of these players love the mid-range shot, but it left them without a point guard and a center. And as we've seen, they still haven't addressed either of those positions. They're trying to put Devin Booker at shooting guard, but you can't really try to force a player to play out of his position. That's just not how you're going to be successful. And it sucks for Kevin Durant. He's playing excellent night in and night out, but it's like the team around him just has no fight, no heart. And it's really sad to see.
And that's it. That's it right there, Jay. He said it right there. I watched this Phoenix Sun team and I watched the film. It's almost as if the game doesn't start off right and it looks they just go through the motions now.
Yeah, I mean the thing is it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up to Matt Ishbia, the owner. They had a championship level team just a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
And as soon as Ishbia bought the team, what did he do? He pushed for a trade for Kevin Durant, sent Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson to Brooklyn, sent out a bunch of first-round draft picks that I believe Houston has the majority of them now. You trade DeAndre Ayton, which I can understand, but like Braden said, these guys, they all do the same thing. They just shoot the hell out of the ball, okay? And they're stuck with Bradley Beal. Like I said, I believe on the last show, he is holding that team hostage. Okay.
Man.
Yes, he is.
Kevin Durant's gonna force a trade out of Phoenix. That's very obvious. Okay. He will not be there after this summer. Devin Booker, I could see Phoenix maybe being forced to trade him too. Probably to the Rockets back. So it's just a shame to see a team go from bottom of the West to the finals basically in one season and then fall back down in just a couple seasons.
That's a damn shame. Yeah.
It really is, and it's funny. I actually saw something yesterday, I believe. Matt Ishbia's brother, Justin Ishbia, is getting more stakes, or I guess he's trying to move towards majority owner of the Chicago White Sox, which, given their ownership, and we all know that ownership very well, being NBA fans, I'm interested to see just how bad the White Sox get too. Especially if they have another team that's all about making horrible moves.
They just rub off, right? Yeah, and it would serve Bradley Beal right if Durant and Booker find their way out and leave his ass there. You can keep the damn contract and you could lose, because I just hate it when one player can play such a significant role in handcuffing your team. And that's where he has them. And the final story of the night before final thoughts is a damn good, feel-good story. Last year, they won 14 games. One of the laughing stocks of the NBA. Plain and simply put, the 23-24 Detroit Pistons really sucked. But they had a young core, and it would take them a few years, and maybe they would rise above it and maybe make a playoff push, say, by 2027, 28. Except somebody forgot to tell these young Pistons. And they are sitting at 35-28 in the sixth position in the East, 1 game behind the Pacers, 2 games behind the Bucks. Are y'all seriously trying to tell me? And by the way my Knicks are playing, I might as well say 5 games behind the Knicks, because I don't know what the hell I'm going to get from my Knicks now with Brunson gone. Yo, Jay, the Pistons have a chance to move from the 6th position to the 4th position. They're only 2 games out of the Bucks. Yo, I love this team.
Yeah, no, it is a great turnaround. You mentioned the 14-68 record last season, just horrible, one of the worst teams in NBA history. And, there's a lot of credit to be handed around, actually. Cade Cunningham, obviously, the young superstar who's been overlooked, really, if you want to be honest, comparing the last, 3 or 4 first overall draft picks.
Yep.
No one talks about him. And this guy's putting up 25 points per game, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. First-time All-Star.
Damn.
I
didn't even know that. Damn.
Malik Beasley, 16 points per game, 42% from 3. He's the second leading three-point shooter in the league right now. He made 251 three-pointers, 4 behind Anthony Edwards. Okay. And it's, you add JB Bickerstaff as head coach, a lot better for the team than Monty Williams last season. He's definitely turned this team around. And, it's not all great, unfortunately. You look at some of their records against some of the top teams. For example, 0-3 against Cleveland, 1-3 against Boston, 0-2 against the Nuggets. They haven't played the Thunder yet. 2-0 against the Lakers before they got Luka. So, I mean, they could jump up to 4th. Who knows? But I would say they're in the same position as the Houston Rockets right now. They're a young team on the rise. They have, they have some really solid pieces. They don't have that, maybe that true veteran presence that would make them a championship contender. But they have the pieces, and that's what's important.
Jay, Braden, yeah, let me tell you, like I said, man, hey, more homework. Look up the bad boy Pistons.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. They roughed up Michael Jordan so bad I believe it was the 1987 season, the 88 season. They roughed them up so bad on their way to winning the NBA title that Jordan decided that he wouldn't have an off season. He said, "Oh hell no, I'm going to work." Them motherfuckers pushed me around. They beat his ass down, and Jordan said, "I be damn." Actually, that was after the Pistons won their second title, and he was gonna come back and he was gonna get him some bad boys, and he did. This ain't the bad boys, but these young boys. And by the way, Malik Beasley, I'm happy. See, I'm happy for a brother like him, right? Who bounce around from here and there, but has found a home there in Detroit, has found his place on the team and his role. Hey, they hooping in Detroit, Braden.
Yes, they are. I will say everyone was caught off by surprise with the Pistons this season. They were 14-68 last year. Like no one could have thought the Pistons would even have a okay record. Like let's say they were like 30-30. No one would have thought they were that. I
No.
was expecting the Pistons to be like, 15-20. No, 15-60.
Right. By
Like
this time they might have won 20 games by this
yeah.
time. Right.
Yeah, because the last time the Pistons were relevant was about 05, 06 with Chauncey Billups, Bill,
Bad. Boys were
Ben
bad.
Wallace before he left to Chicago. That's kind of when the downfall started for Detroit. But this season, Cade Cunningham he's taken the leap from star to superstar, which is why I ultimately believe the Pistons are in this position. With credit to their coach, JB Bickerstaff. He came from Cleveland. He got fired from Cleveland, I believe, after last season. And he's came in and turned this team around. And what I will say about their coach, if it wasn't for the Cavs coach, Kenny Atkinson, and the Thunder coach, Mark, he would be my favorite for coach of the year because it's just tough to stomach a turnaround like that. How do you go from the worst team, one of the worst teams we have ever seen, to not even in the play-in? You are a top 6 seed in a conference.
You're a top 6 seed and you're a competent basketball team. That's the thing with the Pistons that I see. A team that's playing competent, and you look and you say, whoa, it was just last year they couldn't get any of this shit right. And they're doing it now like they've been doing it for years. And it makes you wonder, I mean, how good can the Pistons become over the next couple of years? That's going to be interesting to find out. So we get to that point in the show, Braden. First things first, little cuz, I'm so glad that you're here. Get to talk. That's all me and Jay do, man. We just get on here, man. We just talk our ball and have a little fun. And in case y'all didn't hear me earlier, people, I said it. LeBron James is the greatest player in NBA history. I don't want to say it, but I had to say it. But we get to the segment, Braden, you get to go first. Final thoughts, Braden.
All right. My final thoughts is, first and foremost, I love the opportunity to come on the show and talk ball with you and Jordan. That was I had an awesome time
Cool.
talking ball with you guys, and I can't wait to do it again some more in the future.
We'll be doing it real soon because the NBA season is winding down and we got to get on it. And Jay ain't going to let me go too long without doing a show anyway. Jay, final thoughts.
Yeah, just kind of going off of Braden said, it was a great opportunity to, talk ball. It's great to have you here and everything. In terms of the rest of the season, I'm really not even focused on the Eastern Conference. I'm really looking at the West and just how the playoff picture looks over these last, 20 or so games, because there's going to be a lot of movement. And, if we're talking about a potential Lakers Warriors matchup in the first round, or Thunder Minnesota. I think, like I said, the East doesn't matter. We know who's probably going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, but the West is going to be a bloodbath. That's for sure.
It's going to be fun to watch. My final thoughts go right here. In the 1970s, to watch a New York Knicks team that just wasn't any good. Watching teams win the NBA championship, and the 80s came along, and they didn't get any better. And then the 90s came, and we had hope. I was a 10-year-old kid when the Knicks won their last NBA championship in 1973. I remember it, but I didn't really get to enjoy it. I was a fan, but I wasn't a deep fan at 10 years old. But here I am in the 90s. John Starks, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson, Derek Harper, Anthony Mason. Boy, I could go on and on. Boy, that team. Of course, Charles Smith pissed me off by missing 3 fucking cribs right underneath in a playoff series, getting us eliminated. Pat Riley decided that even though John Starks shot 1 of 9 in Game 7 of the 94 NBA Finals, he was one of the horses that got us here. Well, he only shot 1 of 10 in the second half, and we lost again. And all of a sudden, the Knicks are a basketball team again. And it's loud in Madison Square Garden. Jalen Brunson. Boy, I've been waiting for Cat to get to the Garden. When we got him, damn. You talk about hype. Hype, boy. OG, Josh Hart, Cat, Brunson, Bridges. Damn. Only one problem. We have labor laws for a reason, right? You can't work underage people, right? You can't work underage kids. You get to work a 40-hour work week, right? Maybe if you're lucky, if you need it, your job gives you overtime. Me, I work from home right here. I run my business from here. I don't do shit. I can get 40. I can do this all day. It's got people out there that are working in a blazing sun, putting in all kinds of hours, right? Because they have to. Tom Thibodeau doesn't seem to understand one simple premise. bench. It's called a fucking bench for a reason. You got a roster, not 5 fucking players, but a roster. 12 fucking guys that are getting paid to play NBA basketball, and for some godforsaken reason, you think all we got is 7 fucking guys, right? So you want to take this big trip across the country in this beautiful big car with 3 fucking tires. We can't get there, coach. So you put on a 4th tire. Just so we can finally make it across the country, and we ain't got no gas in the tank either. It just seems like it doesn't matter. Every time we start this bitch, it don't go nowhere. Now we're in March, going into April, and I'm watching my Knicks in Phoenix in this broken down van on flat tires, and the goal is to make it to the edge of California. We got a long way to go. I don't think this damn vehicle's going to get there. And what do you do? And what do you still do? And every time I look at this damn box score, I look at my starters, and what does it say? 36 minutes, 39 minutes, 41 minutes, 44 minutes. Yo, Tom, how about you take your ass out there for 41 minutes a night and see how it feels? Huh? Why don't you take your old ass out there and hoop with them boys? I seen you shooting in shoot around. I tell you what, try 25 minutes a night. That shit wears on you. It wears on you. And what kills me is there have been moments that Tom Thibodeau has used his bench. Landry Shamet can shoot. I didn't say he was a hooper, but he can shoot. Cameron Payne has flashes of ball. We got some guys. I don't know who this Huckport guy is or where he came from, though he's injured now. Precious, oh Precious, I got a problem with a man named Precious. But as long as Precious ain't got no problem with that, I'm cool. Precious, I love Precious and what he does and what he brings. He's filling the void for Josh Hartstein. It ain't gonna make a damn difference because we're not beating the Cavaliers. We're not beating the Celtics. And if you fuck around, we ain't gonna beat the Pistons either. So thank you, Coach Tom, for driving us straight to the fucking ground. We got ball tires, no brake pads, an eighth of a tank, and 900 miles to go.
Actually,
Huh?
I have something to say real quick. I like so I put it as he is driving a car 100 miles per hour every day and hoping it doesn't crash. You can't do that. If you drive 100 miles per hour every day, it's going to eventually crash. Just like you're playing your starters 40 minutes a game, they're going to eventually either be hurt or just they can't play. Like you can't play your starters 40 minutes a game. You can't do this.
This is one of those moments. This is one of those seasons that I'm so glad that I'm sober and that I've been sober for so many years. Because, bro, you don't know how many times I want to take something out and just take a big gulp. Because, like, all I want, my New York Mets won a World Series. My New York Giants won 2 Super Bowls. I watched my New York Islander hockey team as a kid win 4 straight Stanley Cups. I've lived it, man. I just want my Lady Balls, Pat Summit, hey, championship, baby. I'm gonna be 62, Coach. Coach, I'm gonna be 62. I ain't got a lot of time left, Coach. I just want one more. I want one more. We ain't gonna get nothing like this. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is the NGSC Sports NBA, WNBA, you know, ball, basketball show. We'd like to welcome our newest, I think it's safe to say now, our newest co-host of the NBA show, Braden Hudson, who, all jokes aside, I'm going to go to bed with a big smile on my face. And I'm going to go to bed feeling really good because I can't begin to tell y'all how good it has felt to have my little cousin, my family with me right here. Now this shit, I like this. Jay, I ain't lost no love for you, bro. I still got a lot of you. You still my boy. That's family. That's like family, you know. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I'm gonna get with the guys. We will be here on Sunday or Monday. Monday with In the Batter's Box, the NGSC Sports Baseball Show. And next week, yeah, me and the crew will be back for United, Not Divided, where we meet on common ground, the NGSC Sports Political Show. Yeah, Brandon, a political show on a sports network. Until then, remember what I tell y'all all the time. Peace.